This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV Profit.
Welcome everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here in the city of Joy, Kolkata to delve into the story of a business group which has a history as illustrious and interesting as the city itself. We are talking about Ambuja Neotia Group. Today best known for its real estate business, they've dabbled in several more. Oineta Moja charts out their history, their journey and their current interests of modernizing Kolkata and East India.
Kolkata, the cultural and intellectual capital of India, is fast becoming a realty hotspot too. Kolkata, as one of the top realty destinations, failed to catch the fancy of many till in 1993, the Ambuja Neotia Group, then known as Ambuja Realty, set off with a simple mission: shifting base from Rajasthan to Kolkata decades ago and then making it big in this eastern city was not a cakewalk for the Neotias. Doing business under the left regime had its share of hurdles and difficulties, but having grown up in an artistically rich family and exposure to the great Vedantic traditions at a very early age stood Harshvardhan Neotia in good stead and helped him steer the company to great heights, making it undisputed market leader of Eastern India.
Culturally apart, Kolkatans have always had a unique and distinct lifestyle. The Ambuja Neotia Group has given this unique lifestyle a new meaning and has taken it to the next level.
Almost 2 decades later, the group that had diversified from cement to realty has set a benchmark in the city's real estate space. The group is the first private sector developer to come up with Kolkata's first Condoville, Udayan, under the PPP route. Udayan was declared a model housing project by the union government. Since then, there has been no looking back. From low-cost housing to high-end premium to luxury housing, the group has done it all and has over a dozen residential projects to its credit. The group has come up with residential projects in other locations like Raipur, Patna and Siliguri and are in the process of consolidating the business in each of these locations.
Ambuja Neotia is known for their good construction. They have good, public opinion about themselves. They're one of the most reliable developers of Calcutta.
What I like about Ambuja Neotia is that they have always been a thought leader and they have always been ahead of time. And they don't treat construction of real estate as just construction of real estate. So each development that they have done, you'll see, it's got a character, it's a piece of architecture. And people copy what they do, and hence they are not considered as a developer in Calcutta. So that there are developers and then there is Ambuja.
The company gradually expanded its portfolio from residential to commercial, hospitality and retail space, which prompted Harshvardhan Neotia to go for a name change from Ambuja Realty to Ambuja Neotia Group. Harshvardhan Neotia realized early on that simply creating office spaces will not get him the returns. Ambuja Neotia Group's EcoSpace in Rajarhat, New Town, a LEED certified office space, has everything that a modern day office should have, starting from open air theatre to gym, club, bar and lounge and cafeterias to appease every taste bud. The 2 million square feet area at EcoSpace is the address for the likes of TCS, Reliance Industries Limited, GlaxoSmithKline, HDFC and Ericsson. The company is growing strength to strength and is all set to deliver another over 7 lakh square feet of office space in the next few months. The SEZ story has been a tough code to crack for most developers, but Ambuja Neotia did manage to get aviation, IT, realty, healthcare and manufacturing sector companies to check in at its 30-acre Mihan SEZ in Nagpur.
It has a lot of work-life balance, which is actually required for a lot of stress that people go on, the young people who are working here. And I think there is a beautiful combination of what nature can create and what they have created in terms of infrastructure through technology that they've used. The Eco Hub here, is a very good facility. I think it's one of its first kind in Calcutta at least.
2004 turned a new leaf for the Ambuja Neotia Group and a new and more fun-filled, exciting shopping experience for the Kolkatans. The group opened City Centre Mall that reflects the architectural and designer instincts of Harshvardhan Neotia. An avid connoisseur of art and Bengali culture and lifestyle, Harshvardhan Neotia's malls in Kolkata, Raipur and Patna are reflective of his refined taste and are considered an epitome of Bengali lifestyle.
Our partnership started with the first center that they developed, which is called the Salt Lake Center in Kolkata. We are currently also there in their Siliguri project and Raipur project, and will also come up in their fourth project that's coming up in Kolkata as well. I think the biggest difference that we find in this group versus many other developers within India is they work on partnership model. They want the retailer to succeed so that the mall will succeed based on that. They also want to make a big difference to people's lives, how the consumers will interact with the mall, what kind of experiences they will take.
Patience, a key virtue of Harshvardhan Neotia, helped him withstand the slowdown in the hospitality space. First to get European hospitality brand Swissôtel into the Eastern region and give Kolkata a complete lifestyle destination, the group is now looking at expanding its footprint in the hospitality space too across the Eastern region.
What I like most about this group is whenever they launch any project, they launch with all the clearances absolutely in hand, and whatever they deliver, they always deliver what they committed, more than that.
Ambuja Neotia Group properties are not just about office spaces, malls, hotels and residences. Raichak by Ganges, just 90 minutes away from Kolkata, offers you a life of leisure right on the banks of the Ganges. Giving you a feel of the Bengali way of life, these bagan baris or country homes away from the humdrum of city life is definitely the best place for you and your family to relax, unwind, soak in the sun or simply be with nature and watch the sunset, a luxury for most city dweller. Though commercially a challenging project, Raichak by Ganges is close to Harshvardhan Neotia's heart, who strongly believes in enjoying the journey rather than worrying about the destination.
Big Guns of Real Estate is presented by commonfloor.com, India's fastest growing real estate website, powered by Johnson Tiles, redefining lifestyles worldwide. And Finlay's Consulting, redefining professionalisms in real estate. New Skoda Superb presents World Sufi Spirit Festival, a 3-day festival, a journey into your soul. Don't let it pass by. Mehrangarh Fort at the Blue City, 21st to 23rd Feb 2014, Jodhpur, Rajasthan. Coming soon, only on NDTV. Presented by New Skoda Superb. Get comfortable. Widest range of ready-to-occupy homes only on indiaproperty.com.
Wouldn't you be glad if you had to water it just once? Indeed. Invest just once in LIC's new Bima Budget policy with a single premium and get a short sum every 3 years. Also get full premium back with loyalty addition on maturity. LIC's new Bima Budget policy. LIC का हो साथ तो फिक्र की छोड़ो बात.
Whenever you see an IP verified seal, it's a property certified by dedicated experts. indiaproperty.com.
This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Profit.
Ambuja Neotia, the man at the helm of Ambuja Neotia Group, chanced upon real estate when he was in his early 20s and of course went on to build an empire and a group best known for its real estate business. He's with me today. Let's find out more about his vision, his philosophy and also his views on Kolkata's real estate market. Thank you very much for joining me.
Hello.
I think everyone talks about your group and you particularly having redefined Kolkata skyline a little bit. Tell me, has the market panned out to your vision? Or has it been slower because that IT boom that we spoke about or we were hoping for in 2006 and 7 didn't really take off as much?
Well, first of all, I think I'm credited with a lot more than I deserve, but it's certainly very satisfying that some things have worked. Coming to Calcutta, the way I look at it is that it has been reasonably stable if you look at the volatility across at least the big cities in India. And one of the reasons is that it has never peaked very much and therefore the troughs have also been somewhat shallower. Yes, it is true that we were expecting a lot more action on the IT front. But a lot has happened and I think a lot more could happen. Some of the things have also been because the present SEZ is not encouraged, so some of the probably slowdown in that sector is also on account of that. Other than that, there has been a general economic issue across the country and I think Calcutta is also impacted in that sense.
Okay, just to look at Kolkata's real estate, it's one of those markets which has taken its own time to evolve. It's very price sensitive. Continues to remain, let's say, more a middle class market than anything else. And then there's also a changing face of Kolkata and you've been part of that changing face. What have been some of the high moments of this journey in the last 3 decades?
Well, I think for one, Calcutta has been it is a conservative city relative to many other places in India. But I think there's the aspiring younger generation which is pretty much similar across the country and they also exist in Calcutta, so they continue to propel whether it is the retail sector or the IT sector or some of the more let's say comprehensive apartment complexes where the younger people are buying in, particularly when they want to grow their children up in an atmosphere where there's large parks and gardens and club amenities and things like that. So those things are happening. So
there's Rajarhat, which is of course your large new city. You also have markets within the core of Kolkata, whether it's Gariahat or EM Bypass. So there are lots of hotspots. What according to you, let's say in the next 5 years, are the places in Kolkata, the micro markets which are likely to do very well?
Well, undoubtedly the large supply of land and with commensurate quality infrastructure is Rajarhat. Now that the infrastructure is in place, it's pretty much, I would say, taken off, and it will continue to be the single most important peripheral location outside Calcutta, I think, for the next decade, till it sort of saturates itself in some way.
Anything other than Rajarhat that you think has immense
all
potential?
All the peripheral areas, see, the city itself is an old city, 300 years, more than that, and therefore there's hardly any large parcel of land, and odd bits of land come up, so they will continue to be attractive, but there's not much volume that's happening in the middle of the city. It's really the peripheral. So Howrah is also developing.
Right.
Down south you have the Joka and Behala area which is developing. Of course, Rajarhat is, should I say, the cherry on this cake. And then in north you also have areas closer to the airport which is also coming up. And I think the major, I think the turning point will come when this large amount of metro work that's going on in the city. Its city is pretty much dug up because of this crazy amount of metro corridors being set up. I think that will do something magical in terms of transforming the city.
All right. So let's move on to destination real estate that you created outside of Kolkata. In fact, your family, I believe, thought it was a crazy sort of an idea 2 hours away, right, Chuck? Do you look back at those times and say, I wish I could take many more punts like that?
Well, commercially it has been a challenging project, and I think even continues to be. So to that extent, my family's pre-warning and premonition are not incorrect. One of the things that attracted me to go to Raichak was basically the fact that near Calcutta the most beautiful thing we had was the river. And I wanted to be on the banks of the river, and for some reason our family has had homes on the river for years, and we've had a very strong emotive connection with the river. In West Bengal there has been the culture of Bagan Badis. People, traditionally the aristocratic Bengali families used to have these garden homes where they would sort of go for the weekend and things like that. So we wanted to revive that in a more modern context, and like create a small hotel which would sort of anchor this development, that would provide options for food and some recreation, swimming pool, etc., etc.
So second home destination.
Yeah, we're trying to position it as a leisure conference destination. One good thing that has happened is there's been this new upsurge of sort of destination marriages. So we've been a bit of a beneficiary of that.
So let's move on to the other hospitality forays that you've made. Are you pleased with the way it's taken off, or do you think that even that sector has had its own set of challenges?
See, hospitality world over is based on a very, very low amount of debt. And if the debt comes, it comes at a very low interest rate. In India, the interest rates are high. And that's really the problem.
Capital investments are so huge.
Second is that hospitality is a patience play. You need to, even if you take companies like Taj and Oberoi's, if you see their balance sheets, if you see the value of their assets, it's stupendous. And you see their profits, it's pretty meager. And one of the reasons is that the valuation increases because of the value of the property, intrinsic value of the property, but the ability to throw up cash flow is limited. So you really have to understand that you are not always going to get high profits, but you're going to get good valuations. Now, whether that translates into your desirable objective or not is an individual thing. For me, hospitality is a combination of what I see is a long-term potential on one side, on a financial side, and on the other side, it's a highly creative play. I am quite involved with the architecture and the planning, and I also believe that we're trying to provide some unique experiences in our properties.
All right, retail. Now you built the first mall. It was the second
in Calcutta.
Second in Kolkata, but it was I think much bigger in size, and the way it was designed and the experience itself, I think it became the talk of the town. So from then to now, the retail journey, has it been exciting enough?
We have opened our 4th city center, and we have 2 more under construction. One will open in April, May this year, and one will open maybe end of next year. Well, the first one was built by Master Charles Courier, so it was an incredible experience working with him. And I think working with him was also interesting because he helped me redefine the mall as we understood it. The mall that we were all accustomed to is the malls that we see in the West. And he challenged that very concept in probably my second or third meeting, and he said, Harsh, why do you want to build something that works in the Western world? And I said, but sir, that's what India would like to be and want to be. He says that, one of the fundamental differences that they have a difficult climate, and we don't have. We have temperate climate. So let's try and create a place which is more like a marketplace. And I said, oh God, we wanted to create a mall, not a marketplace. And but I think he set me thinking, and he did help me to rework my mental. It was a shock initially, to be honest, but he got me thinking. And then the more I went deeper into it, I just felt that we really needed to redefine this.
Are the businesses doing well, the footfalls, etc.? I mean, do you think that this is a business that you would continue to replicate?
Yes.
Beyond the next two?
Yes, we would, because see, now of course we've developed a certain amount of traction with the retail community because they've been with us through all this. We started off as a real estate play and then realized early on that this is really a hospitality game.
Right.
You need to look after the place.
What about office space?
Office space is a pretty flat thing. You have a very small variation between a very good office building and, but of course we are assuming that most of the A-class buildings will be equally good with a minor variation. So there is the price play is very limited, and it's to a large extent commoditized because all the big users of real estate in office space pretty much have standard specs requirements, and most developers build buildings.
So it's a boring business. And Harshvardhan Neotia doesn't like boring businesses. I get that.
Yeah, but we did try to create some innovation. The EcoSpace project where my office is housed.
It's a LEED certified project, right?
Yes. We, when we were building this building, the market was in a glut. When we finished 1 million square feet in 2009, I had a tenant for 40,000 square feet in 1 million square feet, and 1 million square feet ready to use. So we said we have to differentiate the product. This product as a vanilla, commoditized, just A-class office with the best of infrastructure is not good enough. And we created the idea of work-life balance, where we said, this is a place where 20,000, because 2 million in all, so 20,000 people will work. They obviously have lots of needs, like for instance, recreation, fitness, food, conferencing. Some of their important clients will come, so they would like to have guest rooms, parks and gardens to walk around in. Maybe you want to talk to a visitor instead of sitting in your office, to go out and sit in a cabana and talk over there under the tree.
But just one last question. So cement was one of your family's core business. You went through it, you came out of it, you weren't excited in your 20s about that business, yet you took it on because it was something which was to be done. Any learnings?
It was a fantastic learning. The 10 years that I spent heading the Eastern India operations of cement was probably like going through B school in a very intense way for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I had the opportunity to work under my uncle, Mr. Narottam Seksaria, who was leading this business, and of course my father and uncle who were mentors. And I don't think I would have ever got that exposure had I not worked for a public limited company, listed entity, growing at a very fast pace and with the kind of scale and operations that it had.
Architecture, design, you've already spoken about how that makes you tick. What else?
Well, I read a lot. I love to read a lot, at least. Nothing else really. I mean, design.
And what keeps you engaged?
My work, I think, most of the time. my children are now 18, so I have a pair of twins. So
They're studying in Calcutta?
they are now in Calcutta, but they've applied to the US, so hopefully they'll get somewhere. And so they are certainly a very important part of my life. But other than that, no, I mean, my life revolves around my work. I enjoy it very much. Every day I wake up wanting to get to work and do a few things.
Wow, that's being very modest, but thank you very much. Wonderful speaking to you. It was a great conversation.
Thank you very much.
Harshvardhan Neotia, the man who believes the journey is far more important than the destination itself. Numbers don't make him tick, size doesn't make him tick. What makes him tick is quality. Next week, we begin with the corporate big guns of India. And of course, we begin with the biggest of them all.
We're looking at value, aspirational housing, then look at premium luxury and super luxury housing, and also second homes.
Redefine the landscape of architecture, calling all architects and interior designers. Log on to ndtv.com/DA Awards to enter. Grohe presents.